it's Lee from colouringqueen.net, and I've got the latest Colouring Heaven magazine, which is the Burlesque special. Now, this one contains 40 illustrations by Kendall. I have to admit, I've never heard of Kendall, but by the same token, I don't really know a lot about burlesque either. I know it's usually beautiful girls that get dressed up in sparkly outfits and that they put on a fabulous show, and that it's been around for a long time and made a resurgence maybe 10 or 20 years ago. But Neil is a world expert photographer of burlesque, and I guess that's a tricky area of photography because you have very extravagant costumes and women with perhaps quite a bit of makeup so that it can be seen from the stage, and trying to photograph them when they're moving or dancing, or just even in their very sparkly outfits, because there's usually a little bit of flash and dazzle, might be very difficult. So Neil's won awards for his burlesque photography, which I didn't know was a thing either. So that's the great thing about colouring. You learn something new all the time. And in this issue of the magazine, there's quite a lot of men to colour in as well. And there's all different sorts of outfits and costumes and leathers and leopards and even fuzzy chests and fuzzy mustaches. I'm not clear on the illustrations on this. So on every facing page, there's a little note from Neil, perhaps about the inspiration of the picture. He does travel around a lot, so expect to see all different countries represented in this issue. But I'm not really clear if Neil photographed these images and then the drawing or the line art was created from his photographs, or if he drew the images from his imagination, or if they're based on photographs he took and then he drew the illustrations. Or I suspect it's probably photographs he took and then either he or an art team has created line art from them, but I don't really know. And I mention that because I did try and find out by looking through the magazine and whatnot, but I couldn't find an answer to that one. So there's all different styles here. You've got your turbans, your jewels. There's going to be heaps of sparkles. There's even a skull there. Lots and lots of clothing and costumes to colour in. And of course, lots of different types of human bodies. We've even got a little Halloween one here. So this is the Bride of Frankenstein. So as always, Colouring Heaven has 40 illustrations. This is another good one for Halloween. The paper is thin to medium quality. If you're using markers, I'd pop some paper in between so it doesn't bleed through. Lots of beautiful feathers to colour in. And the book is roughly A4 sized. Now you can get it at a lot of places throughout the world. They have a really good distribution chain. In Australia, it's not as easy anymore to get it. I always suggest in Australia that you just subscribe and Colouring Heaven will send out the issue to you, and then you don't have to cruise around the newsagents looking for it, because it's always a lot later that it comes to the newsagents in Australia, in my experience, than when it's released. Whereas if you just buy the issue that you want, either from Colouring Heaven's website or if you subscribe and they send you a new magazine every month, then you don't have to worry about going and looking for it, and you won't miss out. But Colouring Heaven were kind enough to send this one to me, and that saves me hunting around trying to find it. And there's so many different things to colour in this issue. So many different forms of things, metals and clothing, different hair. And you can check out Neil's work. His social media is on the inside cover of this magazine. And I hope you can't hear that noise in the background. It is Millie. And this is the second or third time I've tried to film this. And the first time there was too much noise, and the second time there was too much Millie. So if you're a fan of Millie, I've popped at the end some cameos so that you can see how she made filming this a pretty hard task. I like that they've included both portrait and landscape orientation. It's really good sometimes just to do something different. And if you're a left-handed person, it's good having that top page so that it's easy to colour if you're left-handed. Now there's always a special offer, and this one is a great one. You get a 12 set of polychromos if you subscribe, and that is a great deal. They're worth about £25, which they're very expensive here in Australia, but unfortunately the offer doesn't apply to Australia, so you get a discount on your subscription instead. But if you're in the UK, that's a great offer. And the front and back is colourable as well, and it's got that lovely gold foiling on it. So there we go. It is issue number 69, the Burlesque special. So that's... So that's it from me. Until next time, stay safe and happy colouring.